Capital News with Charles Gishani.
Protests in Nairobi after MPs voted themselves 9 million shilling perks. Annan Mkapa happy with ongoing judicial reforms. President Kibaki wants AMISOM mandate in Somalia extended. And new Inspector General of Police to be named in December. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now let's get to our top stories of the day. Angry demonstrators marched to Parliament buildings on Tuesday morning to protest about a 9 million shilling bonus that MPs have voted to award themselves, with tax hikes expected to pay for it. The protest was later violently dispersed by anti-riot police after the demonstrators blocked traffic on the busy Harambee Avenue that leads to the offices of President Mwai Kibaki and Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Maurice Odhiambo, who helped organize the demonstration, says it was totally ridiculous for the 222 MPs to award themselves such an amount of money when lawmakers in Kenya are among the highest paid in Africa. The civil society organizations held a sit-in at the office of the president, urging the head of state not to assent to the amendment seeking to pay a total of 2.1 billion shillings as a send-off package when Parliament is disbanded ahead of elections. Analysts say that workers earning the national minimum wage would have to work for 61 years in order to earn the amount the MPs have voted to pay themselves. National Assembly Clerk Patrick Gichohi has already handed over to the Attorney General the two bills that sparked public outrage. The send-off bonus was passed late last Thursday as part of a last-minute amendment to the Finance Act. The change to the Finance Act still needs to be signed into law by President Kibaki.
Demonstrating against MPs giving themselves bonuses, we're demonstrating against the fact that they consider us voiceless and they consider our opinions null and void when it comes to implementing any kind of policy. We're sick and tired of them coming up with all manner of things and not consulting with us as Kenyans. At the end of the day, this country is ours, it does not belong to them.
Visiting former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan has commended Kenya for implementing judicial reforms. Speaking after holding talks with Chief Justice Willie Mutunga, Annan, who is also the chairman of the African Union Panel of Eminent African Personalities, says the reforms have advanced Kenyans' trust and confidence in the local justice system. Former Tanzanian President Benjamin Mkapa says he hopes that Kenyans and especially politicians will act in accordance with the Constitution towards and after the forthcoming general elections. Annan and Mkapa are in Kenya for a 4-day visit to meet government and civil society officials in a bid to push for a free and fair poll.
Preparations that are being made for the elections to be able to resolve conflicts quickly, and we, the panel of eminent persons, are leaving here very satisfied with the leadership of the Chief Justice and the work that is being done. We support his efforts, but more importantly, it is you, the Kenyan people, who should appreciate what he's doing and give him your full support.
President Mwai Kibaki has called for the extension of the African Mission in Somalia mandate to enable the troops to complete the pacification of the war-torn country. President Kibaki says the 3 weeks remaining is too little for the soldiers fighting in Somalia to have fully restored peace after decades of fighting. He added that the extension will consolidate the gains made so far against the extremist elements. President Kibaki, who spoke in Kampala when he held bilateral talks with President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud of Somalia, noted that as part of the country's reconstruction, there is need to take urgent measures to disarm those surrendering to avoid any regrouping. Kenya Defense Forces Chief General Julius Karangi, who spoke separately in Nairobi, said he was optimistic that the mandate of AMISOM will be extended. Defense Minister Yusuf Haji has in the past pledged that KDF will not stay in Somalia longer than necessary. And finally, the newly constituted National Police Service Commission says it will appoint an Inspector General of Police by December. Chairperson Johnstone Kavuludi says they will rely on the provisions of the new constitution, which do not limit recruitment to serving police officers. Kavuludi made the statements immediately after the commission was sworn in at the Supreme Court. During the ceremony, Chief Justice Mutunga said reforms in the police service were imperative in ensuring its independence, unlike in the previous elections that resulted in an eruption of violence. Attorney General Githu Muigai and Internal Security Minister Kato Ole Metito were also present for the swearing-in ceremony.
A person who will exhibit knowledge of skills is one that is a strategic manager. That is the kind of person that will eventually find himself or herself being considered for our recommendation for the position of Inspector General.
And that does it for our top stories of the day. Thank you for joining us. I'm Charles Gishane.